Welcome to the Zen Yoga practice, a journey into the art of surrender and resilience. Today, we find ourselves among the cacti, surrounded by the wisdom of the desert, where beauty thrives in unexpected places, and the vibration of stillness and silence echoes throughout the land. Just as the desert teaches us patience, strength, and adaptation, this practice invites you to breathe deeply, soften into discomfort, and find ease within resistance. Every shape you take is a moment to pause, to listen, to simply be. So when you're ready, take a deep breath in and let the journey begin. Hello, my beautiful friends. Let's get started today in child's pose. So come onto your hands and knees. Bring your big toes together to touch the back of your mat. Spread your knees wide. Shift your hips back towards your heels as you crawl your arms forward and melt your heart and your forehead to the earth. If your hips are feeling tight today, you can bring the knees closer together. And if you're practicing with a prop, you can always bring a block or pillow underneath your forehead or underneath your sitting bones. Take a moment to settle in and sense the vast expansiveness that exists within you and around you. Welcome in the stillness, the quiet strength, and begin to deepen your breath and follow that natural current of energy, of prana that flows in and flows out. Allow yourself to follow this current throughout your practice today. The Tohono O'odham people, who have called this desert home for thousands of years, believe that wisdom comes from listening to the desert silence. So today, we'll practice finding that same stillness within ourselves. From here, begin to crawl your fingertips and your arms over towards the right side, creating a gentle stretch along the left side of your body. Relax your forehead. Feel the opening between each rib, creating space for your breath to flow more freely. If you would like to invite more expansion through the left side of your body, you can also place your left hand on top of your right. Keep the hips low, your breath and flow. Slowly start to walk your hands back through center, and then take it over to the left side and settle in, welcoming that expansion, the stretch through the right side of the body, the intercostal muscles, and the spaces between the rib cage. Option to place your right hand on top of the left and continue to follow the journey of your breath through the right side of your body. Take one final breath on this side. And now start to crawl yourself back through center and release in child's pose for one moment to integrate both sides into balance and harmony. And slowly you can begin to rise and walk your hands in. Bring your knees closer in towards one another and press yourself into a tabletop position, stacking shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. As you inhale, drop your belly, lift your tailbone and heart for cow pose. And then as you exhale, round your spine, tuck your tailbone and draw your navel in for cat. Continue this flowing movement with your breath, awakening our spine and cleansing our energy so that we can drop in during our yin class today. Release this movement and come into a tabletop. And let's set up for saddle pose so you can crawl your knees up the mat, spread your knees wide, bring your feet together, and then lower your sit bones on top of your heels. If this is creating too much sensation in your knees, you can sit on a blanket or pillow. And if it's available to you, you can begin to recline, using your hands behind you for support. You might remain upright, you might come onto your forearms, or you might lie all the way back if your body invites this step. This is a deep opening for the quadriceps and the knee joints, so listen to your body and only come to your edge, which is about 30 to 40% of your capacity. If you're feeling pain, your body is telling you you've gone too far. And if this is the case, modify. Honor where you're at right now. If you're reclined and you want to take a shoulder opener, then I welcome you to cactus open your arms. And if you're all the way upright, you can also reach your arms up towards the sky and then bring your hands to opposite elbows and see how this feels. The goal is to embrace the discomfort and ride all of the different waves of sensation that may arrive during these long holds. Instead of resisting, can you allow yourself to flow like a river through the passage of time, around all of the obstacles and rocks that might be in the way? Can you find your own freedom through the discomfort? The Tohono O'odham people, who have lived in this desert for thousands of years, they tell of Itoi, the elder brother, who created the desert and its creatures. When drought came to the land, Itoi taught the people to find water by watching the animals. How the coyote could smell water from miles away, how the tortoise stored water in its body, how the saguaro's roots could find moisture in seemingly dry earth. He showed them that survival wasn't about fighting against the desert's harshness, but about learning its hidden rhythms and resources. He taught them that patience and careful observation would reveal the desert's secret abundance. And so the Tohono O'odham learned to harvest the saguaro fruit in the summer, to plant seeds just before the monsoon rains, to move with the seasons rather than against them. They discovered that what appeared as scarcity was actually abundance hidden in unexpected forms. And so, like the desert people, we too can learn to find nourishment in the challenging moments of our lives, not by wishing for different circumstances, but by discovering the hidden gifts within what is. Slowly use your hands to support your return to an upright position. Take your time. And we'll meet back in tabletop, so come to all fours. Take a moment to feel the effects of the pose. You can pat out your feet, feel the blood recirculating, and then take some stretches. Maybe step your right foot back and shift back and forth, stretching out the legs, other side. And then return back to tabletop, and then guide your right foot to the outside of your right hand, setting up for dragon pose. Slide your left knee back, creating space, getting into the hip flexor here, and then begin to sink your hips forward and down, finding your edge in this deep hip opener. You have options. You can open up to the knife's edge of the right foot to open the inner hip. You can bring your hands onto the earth or drop onto your forearms for more depth. Or if you're practicing with props at home, you can take your hands or forearms on top of blocks or a stack of books. Remember, in Yin Yoga, we distinguish between the edge of sensation and pain. Your body has the wisdom to find its way through intensity when given time and breath. Notice where you feel resistance and direct your breath there, creating space with your awareness. And as you begin to journey inward, what can you discover within the depth of the silence and the stillness? What beauty can you uncover within the unexpected places inside your being? We have several more breaths in this pose. Continue to take deep inhales and exhales. Very slowly, start to come back onto the palms of your hands. Start to heel toe your right foot over to the right, and then guide your right knee back next to your left for tabletop. From tabletop, come to a seated position, and then extend your legs wide apart. Shake out your legs, let that long hold go. And now widen your legs. Shift your hips forward. Take an inhale with a straight spine. And then as you exhale, start to walk your hands forward and allow them to rest wherever they naturally land. You can place them on top of blocks or books. You can remain seated upright. Or if your body is inviting that depth, you can come onto your forearms or all the way onto your belly. If you have a block at home, you can also place a block underneath your forehead. If you're feeling receptive, I invite you to flip your palms open towards the sky so that you can receive whatever you're meant to receive. No matter where you've landed today, trust that this is exactly what you need. Dragonfly pose is a wonderful inner hip and groin opener, and it's symbolic for transformation and adaptability, just like the desert, just like ourselves. The Navajo people of the Southwest United States speak of Hozo, which is often translated as walking beauty and harmony and balance. But Hozo is more than aesthetic beauty. It describes a state of being in right relationship with all aspects of life, including hardship. There's a story of an elder who was asked why the Navajo people made such beautiful art, like intricate sand paintings, elaborate weavings, and silver jewelry, when life in the desert was so challenging. The elder responded that beauty isn't separate from hardship, but emerges from our relationship with it. She explained that the geometric patterns in the Navajo weaving reflect the land itself, the angular mesas, the spiral growth of plants, the symmetry of cactus blossoms. The vibrant colors of their textiles mirror the startling beauty of desert sunsets, and the silver work reflects the play of moonlight on desert stones. We do not create beauty despite the challenges, she said, but because of them. Each weaving contains both the harmony of the pattern and the tension of the tight threads. Each silver piece bears the marks of the hammer that shaped it. The sand paintings are made to be released back to earth, teaching us about impermanence. The elder taught that Hozo is not the absence of difficulty, but the capacity to find balance within it, to see that challenge and beauty are not opposites, but partners in the same dance. As you breathe into the intensity of this pose, consider how your own challenges might be creating unexpected beauty in your life. How the places of greatest tension might also be the sources of your greatest strength. Slowly begin to rise. Lock your hands back in, shift your hips back, bring your hands behind you for support. And then slowly gather your legs back towards one another. Windshield wipe your legs side to side, creating some gentle movement after that long hold. It also feels good to bring your knees in towards one another and allow the feet to go wide and feel that little teepee shape. All right, good. From here, come back into a tabletop position just briefly as we transition to downward facing dog. Tuck your toes, lift your knees, and then shift your hips up and back. Downward facing dog, just for a moment to feel this full body stretch. It's nice to have a little activity in between rest. You can create some movement to hydrate the fascia, pedaling out the feet one by one. And then come on to your knees, tabletop position. Setting up for dragon on the other side, start to guide your left foot to the upper left edge of your mat. Slide your right knee back. Both of your arms are to the inside of your left foot. Notice how differently this side might feel. In this practice, honor the asymmetry of your body. Understand that these differences reflect our unique histories and patterns, and also our dominance, how we can become more dominant on one side of our body than the other. On this side, you might want to choose a different variation. Maybe your hips are more tight and you want to use assistance with a prop, or stay on your hands. Or maybe your body's inviting you to go deeper and you come onto your forearms. Always move with compassion instead of force. Move slow and not in a rush. Nature does not rush, yet everything is accomplished. Take several more full, intentional breaths. And now slowly begin to rise. Come onto your hands. Heel toe your left foot over towards the left and slide it back next to your right, tabletop position. From tabletop, come to sit down and then bring your legs around to the front, straighten them out, shake them out, let go of any stagnant tension in the body. You can point and flex the toes if that feels good. And then, using your hands as support, slowly recline onto your back. Hug your knees into your chest, give yourself a hug. Maybe take some circles with the knees, bringing them out and then pulling them back in together. Move in one direction. And then switch directions. Keep your right knee hugged in and extend your left leg all the way down to the earth. Squeeze your right knee in towards your right arm. Maybe take some circles in one direction and the other. And now take your left hand to the outside of your right knee and then guide it over towards the left as you shift your hips to the right for a supine twist. Extend your right arm out, and if it's comfortable, you might gaze over your right shoulder, completing the spiral through your spine. We will be here for about a minute or so. When it feels good, you can slowly return back onto your back and hug your right knee in one more time. Give it a little squeeze, and now extend it long next to your left. And now hug your left knee into your chest. Give it a squeeze in towards your left arm and take some circles on this side. Take your right hand to the outside of your right knee and guide the knee over towards your right side, shifting your hips to the left. If you want to complete the spinal spiral, then allow your gaze to look over your left shoulder as you extend your left arm out. Keep both shoulders planted on the earth. Take one more breath here. And return back to your back. Hug your left knee and your right knee in. Give yourself one big squeeze as you lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale. And then exhale, release into Shavasana. Extend your legs long and allow your arms to rest slightly away from your body, palms facing upward to receive. You can close your eyes and release any control of your breath and allow it to find its natural rhythm. In the desert, there is this quality of light unlike anywhere else on earth. Clear, penetrating, revealing the true nature of all it touches. As you rest in this final pose, imagine this same clarifying light filling your being, illuminating your true nature beneath the surface of stories and struggles and narrative. Allow yourself to see who you truly are. If there's one thing that the desert could teach us and that we could take away from this practice, is that beauty and strength often arise from the harshest conditions. Take this resilience with you as you continue your day. We will close the practice here, but feel free to remain in Shavasana and meditate as long as you need. If you enjoyed this practice, you would do me a huge favor by subscribing to the channel so that I can continue to grow and produce more practices like this for you all. If you had an experience you would like to share or any feedback, please drop them in the comments below. I look forward to guiding you again. Have a beautiful day. Namaste.